Yo, yo, yo. What is the dealio, man? What's the dealio, y'all? Listen, y'all already know I got a banger for you today. All right? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Best Beezy. What up? What up? How is everybody doing? If you tuning in, man, like this video, right? Tap in the comments. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. All right? The market dropped today. If you listen, let me say this right here. What up, Shali? Let me say this right here. If you watched my Sunday video, right? If you watched my Sunday video and you heard me say the market is coming down, drop it in the comments. All right? Drop it in the comments. If you watched the Sunday video and you heard me say that the market is coming down, drop it in the comments. Listen, man, we do not miss, okay? Also, I said that Bitcoin was coming down to $100,000, right? That's what I said. Where is Bitcoin at right now? $100,000. All right? So, I say that to say we don't miss, all right? We ain't just a random person on the internet talking, all right? What up, Pete Bryant? How you feeling? QTZ, what up? Genesis, the money man himself. What's up? What's up? James, how you feeling? How you feeling? Mark Quinn, what up? What up? What up? What up, Adam? Ebony, how you doing? How you doing? All right. So listen, if you guys are just tuning in, be sure to like this video. All right, like this video. We about to find some setups for tomorrow. All right, we about to find some setups for tomorrow. I'm gonna give you guys my analysis on the market. Okay, the same way I do every day. If the market is open tomorrow, I've been doing these charting videos, right? Finding some setups. So yeah, I told everybody. Okay, I told everybody the market coming down this week. I said specifically semiconductors, right? Chips, AI, right? NVIDIA, MU. If we look at those stocks, they all red. It's all bloody. All right. So make sure we get those likes up, and we're gonna approach the market. We're gonna approach these charts, and we're gonna make some money today. Well, tomorrow. All right. If you guys are inside of the Prosperity Collective and you made some money on my IWM callouts or NVIDIA this morning, drop it in the comments, all right? If you made money with me, drop it in the comments as well, okay? This is not fabricated. This is real life, okay? We went 3 for 3 today on scalp day trades real quick, and we made some money together. So I love breaking bread with y'all, man. All right, I love breaking bread with y'all. All right, he said that red got me fed. I feel that. What up, JT? How you feeling? All right, so we're going to pull up the charts, and these charts we pull up, we're gonna go fishing. I'm gonna give y'all my analysis on the SPY and IWM. All right, and I'm gonna give you guys levels for the SPY and IWM, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find the setups that I'm going to be looking at for tomorrow as well. All right. So, JT NVIDIA printed. Yeah, they printed big. All right. Yeah, we make money daily on IWM. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. All right. Let's get into it. I do these videos, these live charting videos as if I was like by myself, just charting anyway, right? So if I was like when I'm looking for setups for the next day, this is how I do it anyway. So the process that I be taking y'all through and I be showing on the charts, I do that the same way, right? On live or without live, I do it the same way. All right, what up, Drez? How you feeling? All right, what up, Reggie? What up, Reggie? He said Zay was on point today. Yeah. Hey, we don't miss, man. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen on the charts, and then we're gonna get into it. All right, we're gonna get into it. Let's make sure that we get those likes up. All right, I'm about to give y'all levels for tomorrow. I'm gonna give y'all support levels, resistance levels, and I'm gonna give y'all a game plan, and I'm gonna give y'all analysis. All right. If you are following me on YouTube, if you subscribe and you've been following the videos, I need you to understand there's no way that you could lose. All right. If you rocking with me, there's no way you could lose. Okay. I show up every day. I'm giving you guys how to trade. I'm giving you guys levels. I'm giving you guys psychology. I'm giving you guys personal development, right? There is no way that you can lose if you rocking with me. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that all bases are covered. Okay? I'm gonna make sure all bases are covered. If you rocking with me, man, there's no way you could lose. All right, we're gonna get our money in the stock market. We're gonna get our money. We're gonna grow personally, right? We're gonna focus on that spiritual side of ourselves as well. All right, we're gonna stay inspired. We're gonna keep our energy up. All right, and we're gonna keep going. So, just need y'all to understand. What's up, Britt? How you doing? You know, hello, what up? Ashley, hey, what up? All right. So, the last thing I'm gonna share before we get in these charts, when we talking about like personal development, right, and the spiritual side of everything. Last week I went on a 3-day fast, right? I went on a 3-day fast, and now, right now, I'm on another 3-day fast. Okay, so when I'm saying personally development, right? You got to do things that really, really, really help bring clarity in your life, right? You got to do things that help bring clarity in your life. And this is one of those things that I always do to help me bring clarity and to really help me, you know what I'm saying, get to that next level, all right? And it's also about your personal discipline, okay? So I just wanted to share that with y'all. All right. What up, Adam on the track? All right. Ordinary peeps. Okay. So let's go and let's lock in on some charts real quick. All right. So we got, all right. So this is Uber. So let's look at the SPY real quick. Okay. Let's look at the SPY. This is yesterday, right here. All right, so we zoom in. So we broke below this fair value gap level right here. So it looks like SPY is headed to 672. Oh, we're right here in after hours right now. Okay. So, first things first with SPY, right? First things first with SPY. I'm going to take out this gap now, this box. So, your level to pay attention to tomorrow with the SPY is going to be 672. All right? 672. 70. All right. So 672.70 puts below all right. So this level right here is very crucial, right? Because if we break below this level right here, we could be coming all the way down to 668, 667. All right? So make sure you got this level marked on your chart, 672.70, okay? Now, this area, so we're going to gap down tomorrow, like the SPY specifically. Gap down tomorrow. Now, are we going to gap down below 672.70 or above it? Because remember, I've been talking about this gap for a couple weeks, right? Well, really like a week. Yeah, no, 2 weeks. Because remember, we had gapped up. We had gapped up from a Friday to a Monday, right? And this is from Thursday to Friday. So we gapped up here. So if we come below here, 670, 270, then we're most likely going to be coming down to 668. Okay? From 668. So 670, 270, that's gonna be your level to watch for tomorrow. Right? Now let's say that we open up at 670. Let's say we open up at 674, right? Let's say we open up right here. I want you guys to pay attention to coming down to fill the gap, right? But what might happen tomorrow is something similar what happened to today. What happened today, right? When we opened up, look what happened. We went up, right? We bounced up and then we came down. So tomorrow, what could happen is, depending on where we open up, this is critical, all right? This all depends on where we open up at. I can't say this enough. So 670, 270 is a level you want to pay attention to. Below that, enter in the puts. Now, if we open up below 670, 270, I want you to expect the stock to come up, come touch 670, 270, and reject, and then come lower. All right? So this is your level right here. This is the holy grail level right here. All right? 670, 270. Depending on where we open up, this level, you know how to play it. If we open up above it, we could bounce off of it, or we could break through it. If we open up below it, we could come up to it, retest it, and then come lower. All right? So that's where we at with 670, 270. I mean, with the SPY. Let me go see. And we have an order block down here on the 6 hour at 665. All right? So we got an order block at 665, 667, and 663. So this supports my thesis of 668, right? This supports my thesis of 668. Okay, so that is the SPY. Let me know if that makes sense on the SPY, y'all. I want to make sure we crystal clear. All right, I want to make sure we crystal clear. Okay, ISRG went crazy. Okay, that's what's up. Last time's high, yep. She said, yes, you've been talking about that gap. Yeah, I've been talking about this for a minute now, okay? And we about to go over IWM, right? And watch this, all right? So, if you guys are watching this, do me a favor and like this video, okay? Subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. This is the best YouTube channel on the planet, right? I need you to understand this is the best YouTube channel on the planet. All right. So I'm not a big fan of the SPY, right? But I understand that it's the market. So I understand I need to understand it. Because I know that I need to understand it, I'm going to make sure I understand it, right? When you're trading, understand something that's important is attention to detail, right? Attention to detail. That's key. So just because you may not trade something, you still may need to understand that stock or that asset so that you could be able to know how to maneuver and, navigate the market. All right. So how do you identify the order blocks? I use Lux Algo Price Action Concepts. It is a paid indicator. I think it's like $70 a month. So yeah. I'm going to do a video soon about Lux Algo. price action concepts because it has a lot of great features that helps me make a lot of money. All right. It helps me be spot on with all of my levels, right? If you want to know how is he able to so accurately pinpoint this stuff, right? Order blocks and the strap method, okay? If you don't know what the strap method is, listen, go watch my videos about the strap method. I can't say it enough. The strap method turned me up, all right? So now let's go to IWM, all right? Let's go to IWM. Let's go and let's see what we got going on. I missed the sell-off at the end of the day, right? Unfortunately. Look at what they did on the 30-minute. Well, we'll go to the 15. I missed this sell-off right here. All right. This would have been another from 243. This would have been another like 200% if I would have caught this one, right? But it's all good. We smacked the market in the first 20 minutes of the day, right? So IWM popped up, rejected, and then it came down. Okay, so let's go to the daily real quick. What's up, Pamela? Lovely 777. What up? Doria, what's up? What up, Denisha? He said I got it 250%. Yeah. Britt said the strap method overstimulates me with all those colors. And you could change the settings inside of the indicator if you want, right? But it makes it easy for me, honestly, right? Like when I see these colors, I get excited because I'm like, perfect. Purple, 3-bar, right? Like red with a green outline, I know what time it is. So those colors, they're actually like signals for me. So, but everybody is different. So you did put it in profits, Best B. All right, so let's go to IWM, right? My favorite. We smacking IWM every single day, right? So IWM, so look. They gap down. Look at this right here. This is ugly, right? Now watch this. I've been talking about a gap on SPY, but I've also been talking about what? What have I also been talking about? This right here, okay? I've also been talking about this gap right here. We came down here on a Friday. On Monday, we gapped up, okay? So this right here, once again, is an area of liquidity. Me personally, I'm not expecting IWM to come down below 237 right now. Maybe after December, but I'm thinking that we're gonna come down here because we got the bears, right? Look at all this selling pressure right here. Okay, selling pressure right here. Come down, right? So we got the bears right here. So for IWM, we have puts below 241 even. All right. Puts below 241 even. Okay. We closed at 241.20. Right? And after hours we're at 240.40, right? So same thing with SPY, right? If we open up under 241, we may come up to test this level, reject, and then come all the way down to 237, right? Or we could come down to about 239.55, right? So that is the game plan for IWM, right? I'm not going to do resistance levels. I'm going to let you know where it could reject that because my bias is bearish, right? If you want an updated game plan tomorrow morning, you're going to have to join the Discord, because when we send out the watch list for the day, I'm going to know where pre-market is at. So then we're going to be able to go from there, right? SPY is at 672 now. Yep. Yep. We just went over SPY, gorgeous. Said, what's that red with the green outline? That's a failed 2 down candle. If you watch my strat videos, you should know what a failed 2 down is, right? Right here. So yeah, it's a failed 2 down candle. One of my favorite candles in the whole strat method. All right. So puts below 241 tomorrow. If we close below 241, I expect us to come up to 241 and then reject and then come all the way down here. All right. Now, if we open, let's say we open at 239.50. We probably just gonna come down immediately, and then we gonna go up and fill the gap. Okay. It depends on how they want to play it. So we're either gonna gap down a little bit more and just go straight down and then end up coming up, or we're going to gap down slightly, come up and test, and then reject and then come down tomorrow. All right. Like I say, it depends on how they want to play it. All right. They could play it a couple different ways. All right. One thing that the Wall Street is going to do is they're going to play games with you. Okay. One thing Wall Street is going to do is they're going to play games with you, right? That's what they did today, right? So this whole week, number one, let me break this down for you guys, right? Let me break this down for you guys. This is what they've been doing, and this is what they're going to keep doing. Okay? We got last week, they rallied on Friday, okay? On Friday, we rallied. Now, what was Friday? It was October 31st. What was October 31st? The last day of the month. So they rallied on Friday so that they could post a certain percentage for the market, okay? And then on Monday, they said, we gonna rally on Monday, right? Because we gonna make everybody think that we about to just keep going up. It's November. It's supposed to be a green month, right? But I was too smart for that. I said, hey, I'm looking at the technicals, and this is what I'm seeing. We coming down, right? And then on Tuesday, boom, we go up a little bit more, bull trap everybody, and then we come down yesterday, and then we gap down today, right? And then we come down. So tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, I'm thinking we're going to come down. We may have another red day, and then we're going to slowly start creeping back up, right? We're going to slowly start creeping back up. People going to be still in puts, right? And then what's going to happen? They're going to be in puts. They're going to get bear trapped, and then we're going to go to the upside. This is what I'm thinking is going to happen. I could be wrong. There's a possibility that I could always be wrong. I'm not too prideful to say that, right? I'm wrong often in the market, but I'm also right quite often in the market. And when I'm right, it outshines me being wrong, right? That's the name of the game. Okay. Jennifer said, "What's the indicator used for fair value gap?" It's a Lux Algo. All right. It's a pay indicator. That's a shooter on the daily too, so I think it would keep going down, but who knows with the manipulation. Yeah, there is a lot of manipulation, but we never, here's a rule, right? Here's a rule that I always have. I always remind myself, trust the technicals, right? I know it be manipulation, I know it be stuff going on, but the technicals show you where money is going into. So cut out all of the noise with Twitter, with Threads, with Instagram, right? And just focus on the technicals. That's all I do. All I do is focus on the technicals, right? I don't really pay attention to what everybody's saying on Twitter, right? I remember I did that before. I remember a year ago I was on Twitter. I was in a trade, right? Because people on Twitter was saying it's about to skyrocket. And then I was on Twitter trying to figure out if I should stay in this trade or get out. And nobody was to be found for real, right? It was a lot of mixed reviews. And that was when I realized I got to rely on myself. And the way that you rely on yourself is you learn how to trust yourself, and you also learn how to trust the technicals of what you see on the charts. Because the candlesticks are a reflection of where money is going into and where money is getting pulled out from. So if you see certain candlesticks, you know that money is going into something or money is coming out of something, right? So this is why I say trust the technicals, right? Focus on the technicals and do not worry so much about all the extra stuff, what everybody is saying, what the Twitter feed is saying, what they're saying on threads. Focus on the technicals, because the people that are telling you what to buy on threads and Twitter, they're just paying attention to the technicals. So you can cut all of that excess noise out and you can focus on the technicals and you will know where the market is going. Okay? This is real life stuff here. This is that right there. You could take that to the bank and cash it. Okay? Real life. Okay? Real life. So, what y'all got? That's a shooter. Okay, yeah. When you know where they're playing games, exactly, you know what side to be on, right? You said on Sunday, watch out for the downside. We got out of calls, and now look, now whole market is tanking. Now everybody is making videos. Oh, this. Watch out for this downside. I told y'all about the downside before the downside happened. So I'm not being reactionary, right? We got ahead of it. Okay? So keep that in mind. This is real life, okay? What's up, Angie? She said, I'm a little late, but we'll review the information. Absolutely. Appreciate you. The more you study, the less you... Exactly, right? The more you study, the less... This is why I say this. I no longer worry. I could be down 50% in the trade and I'm not worried. You know why? Because I didn't over leverage, right? My small account got cooked, right, today. But I don't care. You know why? Because I'm not worried. Because I understand that I could get that money back in that account. And I also understand that every day in my main account, we're smoking IWM. Every single day we are smoking IWM, right? So I ain't worried. You know why? Because I'm well studied. The more I study, the less I worry. This is a lifestyle and this is a mindset that I have adopted over time because I learned the power of studying. Right? I study the market every day. I've been studying the market, been studying the market. All right? Because I got tired of getting finessed out of my money in the market. Right? So, this is real life stuff, y'all. Okay? This is real life stuff. All right? And tomorrow is always going to be there. Right? So, my goal is to help you guys learn how to fish. I want you guys to walk away from me feeling empowered. Right? Internally, right? With knowledge, with wisdom. Energetically, I want y'all to feel like you can go do more when you walk away from my YouTube videos, from my lives. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel like you got something. I don't want you to be like, damn, it's something missing. Every time he tell me I'm a little bit more confused. I don't want that. I want you to feel like you got your time investment because you guys are investing your time, right? I don't want to come up here just to get some FaceTime and get some views. No. I'm here to change your life. It's going to be some people at the end of this year that's going to be like, yo, you changed my life. Next year, yo, I bought this house because of you. I helped my mom with her car note because of you. All of these small things, right? So I'm doing this for a bigger purpose. And I just want y'all to understand that right there. All right. So let's get to some setups for tomorrow. All right. We just went over SPY. We just went over IWM. We could really stop right there and we could go run it up tomorrow, all right, on SPY or IWM. But we're going to look at some setups for tomorrow when we're talking about individual stocks, all right, when we're talking about individual stocks, all right, getting in that bag. Yeah, the bag is deep, man. All right, I could do this all day, right? I don't have any notes. When I make these videos, I know what I'm talking about and then we get to it, right? Cause I be making sure I'm open so I could deliver a message. I want y'all to understand this be God talking to y'all. This not me. This is God talking through me to you guys. That's every single video. That's God talk. That ain't me talk. That's God talk. That's why it comes out the way it does. You see what I'm saying? So tomorrow we have she said Uber. Yep. I entered in a swing into Uber today. Right? So yeah, I'm already in Uber. Some people got into Uber today as well inside of the Discord. So yeah, if y'all tapping in, man, like this video, okay? We changing lives over here. All right. If you fail, congrats. Some people don't even fucking try. Straight up. Straight up. All right. So let's go. Let's go. All right, so we got NVIDIA today. So NVIDIA's on a 2 down candle right here. So we could look at continuation for NVIDIA. I think it's just simple, right? If they break below here, but they got a lot to go. They could come down to about 192 tomorrow and potentially find support here, or they could find support all the way at 180. But I don't know if they're going to come that low, right? So, but I'm not going to put NVIDIA on my watch list. We got Shopify. I like Shopify to come down to about 150. Okay, 150. So I'm going to put Shopify on my list. Okay. So I'm going to put Shop on here. Continuation. All right. So we got Shopify, we got Google. They're on a failed 2 down, but the body is not big enough for me to want to enter in yet. But I am gonna put it on my list just to keep an eye out on it. Okay, failed 2 down. All right, we got HIMS, a bearish 3 bar right here. So HIMS could be coming down to. If they get below $40, HIMS could be coming down to the floor, right? But they did beat earnings, so I'm gonna put HIMS here because right now HIMS is in this demand zone right here, right? Tomorrow we could see it come down to $40, and then it could blast off, okay? Because look what happened. When HIMS came in this area last time, it created a double bottom, and it went all the way up to $60 from $40, right? So I'm gonna put HIMS on here, and I'm gonna put in a demand zone bounce. All right. We got Roblox. Roblox looks like they're ready to bounce here off of this 200 EMA, but I don't know. They contracts move a little bit funny for me. But this actually looks good though, honestly, especially off this pullback right here. So look, this pullback right here, they were at 139, 140, came down, created a lower high at 134, and then they came all the way down, right? So, yeah, Roblox is something to pay attention to. Palantir, I think everybody is paying attention to Palantir. So we have a body here. I want y'all to pay attention to this, okay? Look, I'm zooming in on this body for a reason, right? I'm zooming in this body for a reason. We have a wick here and we have a wick here, right? So Palantir tomorrow can go any way, all right? Can go any way, right? We got selling pressure. All right. And we have buying pressure. What's up, Mikey? All right. So buyers push this stock up. Sellers push the stock down. Now there's almost an even amount of buying and selling pressure. There's a little bit more buying pressure than there is selling pressure, right? So what this means is it could go any way. All right. So they're down in post-market right now. But if Palantir breaks below 185.50, which is that's very low from this, then it could sink. Okay. But I don't expect Palantir to go lower than like 180. We have a small gap to fill right here at like 181. So I'm gonna put that on my list just because I'm gonna be paying attention to it. Okay, it's not a setup, right? It's not a setup, but I am gonna be paying attention to it. Okay, just because they had earnings yesterday and today. All right, what up, Toya? Did I see a possible rumor of a split? I have not. Usually you see splits when stocks are getting up there like $600, $700, $800, $1,000. That's when you see splits. When they're like $100 or $200, you usually don't see splits from what I've seen. All right, we got Carvana. We got Dell. Okay, so Dell came down and it filled this gap right here off of this failed 2 up. We got Nike came down again today, right? So they're at $61. We got Affirm. They're on a failed 2 up. Now, this looks like an interesting setup on Affirm. Let's go to the 4 hour. Oh, wow. Look at this right here, y'all. Okay. What do we see right here? This looks like a beautiful setup. We got Affirm. Okay. We got a double bottom on a 4 hour, right? So we got a move to the downside. Okay. And then we have a move up, right? And then we have a move down right here. Okay, so watch this. Let me turn on my RSI real quick. Let me see something. All right. Okay, so all right. So Affirm looks like what up, BG? What's up, bro? So Affirm looks like it's on a double bottom right here, right? Now the bottom is going to be right here at $67, okay? So we got $67 as support, right? $67 is a support for the double bottom. All right. Now, we're sitting here at $71. So if we come down tomorrow, we could come down to 67 and then bounce, right? If you see a double bottom on Affirm, if you see a failed 2 down on Affirm right here, I would take entry and then maybe get it about a month out. And then my price target would be the neckline at $73. And if it gets above $73, then my next price target would be $77. So you could potentially ride it up from $67, $68 all the way up to $73. $77. Okay? So, and then if you look at the daily, okay? If you look at the daily time frame, my target would actually be higher to about $78, right? So move from here, boom, 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 blast off, right? And if we break above 77, 78, look where they came from, right? All the way at $90 right here. So we have a lot of room, okay? We got a lot of room to go, right? So this is a banger of a setup. So I'm going to put this on, I'm going to put swings, setups, all right? FRM, double bottom on the 4 hour, all right? Double bottom on a 4 hour. Okay. That's what I see on the firm. Um, Palantir CEO made a, yeah, you got to dance with the market. Would I wait till after earnings in 2 days? Yeah, I would wait until after earnings because they haven't shown that they're going up yet, right? So I'm gonna always say wait after earnings. If earnings is 1 to 3 days away, let's say within, if earnings is like within 7 days out, I'll probably wait to take an entry. But sometimes, it could go your way. But me personally, I wait till after earnings I enter in, right? Let me give you guys an example, right? Let me give you guys an example. Look at Uber, okay? This is a perfect example. Look at Uber, okay? On the daily. Look at this right here. If you in a prosperity collective, you already know what this means right here. If you're not fully gonna understand it right now, right? But Uber beat earnings and they gapped down, right? They gapped down all the way to $91. They came down and they pushed up, right? They got some liquidity. They pushed up. So they gapped down here. I am in a swing right now for Uber calls, right? Got into it right before market closed. When I see this right here, I already know what time it is. Okay? So, if you would have played earnings here, right? No, here, right? It was at $99 yesterday before market closed. It opened up at $91 and $92, and it came all the way down to $90, right? But they're bullish on the day now. What is that telling me? They finessed everybody, right? They Ivy crushed the contracts, those who got puts, but it's about to go in a direction that they wanted it to go into, right? Liquidity, all right? I did a whole video about liquidity grabs. Make sure you go watch it, all right? So that's what I mean about I'm not going to play earnings. What if I thought that Uber was about to go crazy and I got into calls right here? I would have got cooked, right? No, they gapped down $9. I waited for the day to end to see what happens. It's on a failed 2 down with a liquidity grab off of an order block. I'm going to take that. All right? I'm going to take that. Okay? So, patience is the name of the game in the stock market. Okay? I'm debating it too, not going all in, might take a small position. Okay, yeah. So that's why I would wait until earnings, right? So that was a firm. So I put a firm on my list. What else we got? AMD, they just reported earnings. They beat earnings, I believe. They did great. Let me see where they're at right now. I'm pretty sure they're down after market. AMD is at, where y'all at? AM Dizzle, where they at? They're at 237. Damn, they're down 5%. They're down $13 in after hours. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. This is a gravestone doji. So this is a bearish candlestick, and now they're down to 237, right? But Uber had a bullish candlestick and they dropped, but they're getting ready to come back up. So with earnings, you never know, right? If you're willing to gamble that and you have enough money in your account where if you put $1,000 into a trade or $80 into a trade, you're okay with whatever happens, that's fine, right? But for the setup that I'm looking at, I would not get into a firm until after earnings, and it's only 2 days. If it goes up, that's fine. It could come back down, and then you could get an entry, but the stock will have volume and momentum, and then you can ride it right back up. All right? So I'm not into puts. I ride shares. Oh, yeah, I feel you. If you're not into puts, I would highly suggest you join the Prosperity Collective so that you can learn how to ride puts to the downside and then take those profits and then buy more shares. All right. That's the name of the game. I need everybody to understand the reason why calls and puts was created, so that all the rich people that invest, when they have shares and then the stocks are coming down, they can get into puts, make money, go into the downside, take that profit, buy more shares of the stock, and then they could drop their average cost of that stock. This is how the game goes. Okay? So I know people be like, I'm not into it, I don't do that. Listen, the more you study, the easier things will become. Okay? So, she said, and Uber had a positive earnings and all that. Exactly. Right? Especially on a daily, Best B. All right? If y'all are tuning in, man, like this video. All right? I'm giving you guys real life-changing market analysis. I'm taking my time with this stuff. All right? So don't be stingy. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm coming every single day bringing you life-changing information. All right? Let's go find some more setups. So AMD, I'll see what happens tomorrow. They're at 237 right now. We have an order block at 227. So just off of this right here, let me give you guys some free game, okay? AMD is going to come down to 227 and they're going to bounce and they're going to go up. That's what I think is going to happen. Okay? That's what I think is going to happen. But when we see where we're at in pre-market, we're going to see. All right? Tesla coming down. SoFi. So SoFi is putting up a fight, right? Failed 2 down, but it's not convincing enough for me. Lyft coming down right here. With Lyft, this looks like a bear flag to me, right? We got a move down. Okay. We got a move down here. And then we have a flag right here. Okay. And it just broke out of this flag, right? So Lyft looks like they want to come down to about $18, right? And potentially 15, right? So this is a bear flag, and it broke out of that bear flag right here. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow. Circle coming down, easy money, Enphase, CoreWeave, Meta still coming down, but Meta could bounce here. Look at all of the buyers that are sitting in this area, right? So Meta could, honestly, not only could, I think tomorrow, Meta, even if it does gap down, it's going to end up coming up because we're sitting at this order block and its equilibrium zone right here. This is a ton of buyers, okay? This is a ton of buyers. I don't think buyers are going to let Meta come too far down, too much lower, right? So we might see tomorrow, we might see a candlestick that looks the opposite of this. The wick may be at the bottom and then the body may be at the top, right? Well, we got Lulu, they coming down. That's easy money. What else we got? CrowdStrike, they're coming down. Adobe fell 2 down. We got Webull. Webull is ridiculous. They are at $9.71. This is a great leap, okay? This is a great leap. Look at where they're at. They can't really go too much lower. They can, but then there would be a penny stock, right? And I use Webull every day, and I don't have no issues, except a couple weeks ago when AWS came down, right? But Webull, this is a great leap right here. All right. If y'all are just tuning in, man, drop it in the comments. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. Now, Amazon, this looks like an incredible setup. I will say. Amazon puts tomorrow for sure. Okay. 222 continuation. All right. Amazon puts for sure tomorrow. Like, they may gap down. I mean, they're already down like $2 in aftermarket, so I think Amazon is gonna come down for sure. So Amazon, I should have entered that swing. Charlie told me to get into this swing, but I was like, I don't know. But this is a great setup. All right, Intel coming down. I like Intel to come down to $35 and then bounce and then start to come back up. So Intel, I like that setup once it comes down some. OKLO, they got earnings next week. Um, SMCI, they just missed earnings, so they're down about 10%. Pan W, Oracle. Check out Oracle, y'all. What it do first ballot? Oracle came down and it filled the gap. Finally, right? I did not trade Oracle today, but it filled the gap finally, right? So, I think Oracle, I think buyers are going to step in this week. And I think Oracle is about to get ready to go crazy. All right. I think Oracle is about to get ready to go crazy. All right. So I think buyers are going to step in this area. All right. We got VRT. VRT looks like they want to come down to 165. All right. I'm gonna put VRT on here because this looks like a really good. This looks like a really good one. So VRT. All right. What do you think about IWM from two? Yeah, I went over IWM in detail in the beginning. In the beginning of my lives, I'm gonna always go over the indexes. Okay. If I'm ever analyzing stocks, I want you guys to know I'm always be going over. I'm always going to be going over the indexes first. So if you come on my live and then it's 20 minutes in and I'm not talking about Spire IWM, I already talked about them. And all you have to do is just when I get off the live, just go back and start it over, and then I'm gonna break it all down. All right. So yeah, if y'all just tuning in, man, like this video. All right. Like this video. Let's get the likes up. I'm giving you guys levels and setups for tomorrow so that you don't lose money. You actually make money, because most traders don't even make money. All right. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and drop it in the comments where you guys are tuning in from. All right. I want to know where you guys are tuning in from. All right. Now, what else we got? VRT, Netflix, Alibaba. I'm not fucking with it. I'm done with the Chinese stocks. Uber, I already said this is on high alert. It could create a consolidation candle tomorrow, which is a 1 candle. And then we could go up on Thursday, potentially, or we could just go up tomorrow and fill this gap right here. If we come up from here to here, that'll be a nice, probably maybe 50 to 80% trade right there. So we got to see, but I like Uber for sure. So Uber is on a very strong failed 2 down. Failed 2 down plus grab. All right. This right here is what I call an A+ setup, right? Failed 2 down off of an order block with the liquidity grab with positive news. Okay. So over the next 2 to 3 days, I'm expecting Uber to have some really positive days from the market perspective, and the stock to go up. All right. So that's Uber. MRK failed 2 down. Let's go. MRK. All right. Somebody said Microsoft. I'll look at Microsoft, but I'm gonna be honest, I do not mess with Microsoft. All right. We all got those stocks, and that's one of them stocks that has cooked me in the past, right? I don't mess with Microsoft too much, but they be making moves. I can't be mad at it, but Microsoft is on my do not trade list. I got like 2 or 3 of them. Okay, we got Starbucks. They got a liquidity grab as well. Starbucks could be reversing because if you see in this area right here, look at this area right here. Okay, this is like a demand zone right here, right? So every time the stock came down in this area, it blasted off. So this would be a swing potential. So I'm gonna look at Starbucks. Starbucks demand zone bounce. All right. So that's Starbucks. We got Celsius. Ooh, I like this. I like this setup right here. This is a beautiful setup right here. This is Celsius. Okay. I'm going to put Celsius on my list. Okay. Failed 2 down. Okay. App, Google, Marvel. They look like they coming down. AVGO, SoundHound. Ooh, XYZ, another liquidity grab right here. So I'm going to go to XYZ and I'm going to put this on here. XYZ. Grab right there. All right. APLD, failed 2 down. Microsoft, okay. Okay, FDRS. I actually like this setup right here. We got an order block, demand zone, failed 2 down. I like that. A setup like this will make me trade this stock. Okay, so I'm gonna put Microsoft. Okay. Shout out, that was a good one. FDRs. All right. Delta. We got ARM. We got Apple. Apple had a green day. Apple has been holding up the SPY, right? Apple has been ensuring that the SPY does not drop. Okay. Citigroup. They came up. Okay, so they got 2 3 bars back to back. So Citigroup could get ready to take off, if I'm being honest. If Citigroup can close above 102.04, they're about to blast off. Got DoorDash, failed 2 down on DoorDash. All right. UAL, IBM, failed 2 down. Okay. IBM. We got CRM. They on the 2 down candle. ANET. ANET is on a failed 2 down. They just had earnings and they missed earnings. Oh yeah. So they're gonna be coming down tomorrow. I believe. No. That's today. They exceeded estimates. I'm gonna put ANET for a failed 2 down. All right. Okay, we got GLD. Look like they coming down some more. FedEx, they rejected, but they still in a 2-up candle. Lockheed, IBIT, XOM, failed 2 down. UNH, Robinhood, they got earnings, so I'm not gonna really worry about them until after. Micron, we could get a bounce in this area, 205, 207 area. Silver, Tempest, Duolingo, Reddit, they came down some more. Ionic, Rocket Lab, Iran, QBTS, Oscar, RGTI, QUBT, HPE. All right. So look. So here's what I'm seeing now, right? Here's what I'm seeing. We have a lot of failed 2 downs on a daily now, okay? So now that we have a lot of failed 2 downs on a daily, what that means is stocks are they're gonna try to bounce tomorrow. Some, right? The ones that have failed 2 downs. Now that may create a failed 2 up on the daily, and then we could come down further. But if we, off these failed 2 downs, if we start coming up and on the daily that candle closes a 2 up candle, which is a bullish green candle, that means that we about to come right back up. Okay? So tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, you're probably going to see some more failed 2 downs on other stocks that are on a 2 down today. Right? So what this tells me is if you're in a trade, let's say you swung puts. If you swung puts at market open tomorrow, you need to get out because stocks are probably most likely going to bounce and then go back to the upside. Okay? The downside action is going to be short-lived because I'm seeing a lot of failed 2 downs on the daily chart. I saw no failed 2 downs on the daily chart on Sunday. Okay? I saw no failed 2 downs on a daily chart on Sunday. I only saw failed 2 downs today, but not on every stock. So we have 2 down candles right now. So we might gap down tomorrow, start to bounce, and then we might create failed 2 downs on a daily across the board, which means that we're going to start coming right back up. And all this was to scare people out of their positions at the beginning of the month, and then we about to rally and we about to get busy. All right? So let me know if that makes sense, y'all. If all of this made sense and if you got value out of this, let me know. Swell Hunter, he says, sorry, late. We smacked IWM. We sure did. We do it every day, man. All right. We smacked IWM today like it owed us something. All right. And we do it every single day. All right. And I mean that too. I ain't just saying that. I mean that. Every day, I'm smacking IWM. We making money together inside of the collective, and we doing it in the first 30 minutes of market open. All right. This week, last week, lately, I've been done personally before 7 a.m. I'm on the West Coast, right? Market open at 6:30 a.m. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. And then I'm done by 7 a.m. first 30 minutes of the market. All right. So I want you guys to know, I just gave you guys a whole bunch of plays, right? And I'm teaching you how to play these setups, right? So we got Google, we got Uber, we got MRK, we got Celsius, we got Microsoft, we got DoorDash, we got IBM, we got ANET. All of these are my top setups, and then we got Palantir as well, right? But because Palantir isn't showing me a clear direction, I'm not going to focus on it, right? I'm only going to day trade stocks that I see the clear direction the day before, right? And this is why I made the video that I made today about planning your trade and trading your plan, right? If you have not watched it after this video, go watch that video. The reason being is because if you could pay attention to the daily time frame and you know what direction the stock is going to go the next day, even if it has a pullback, you're not afraid of the pullback because you know what direction it's going to go into. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, this is how the game go. Okay? This is how the game go. This is how the game go. Right? Stick with me, you're going to make a lot of money. I promise you that. All right? Appreciate you, Army of One. I hope so too, Mark Quinn. But listen, if they don't hear me now, they're going to hear me one day. All right? And that's a fact. Because I'm giving you guys the blueprint to navigating into the market. The market crash, I'm still here. The market rallying, I'm still here. Every single day, you know I'm going to hit you with the what's the dealio. You know I'm going to have another banger for you. You know I'm going to tell you to get up out your head, and you know I'm going to tell you the more you study, the less you worry. Every single day, I'm going to be here. All right? So, if they don't hear me, one day they will. All right? Consistency is one of the greatest superpowers that man can ever have. All right? Best channel on YouTube. Appreciate that, FDRs. For sure, Adam. All right? So, if you guys make money tomorrow, I want to hear about it on YouTube, or I want you to email me. All right? My email is in the description of every single video that I do as well. All right? Raisha, do you live trade? Yep. Me and Marcel, we live trade every single day. All right? Today, we went 3 for 3 in the Discord. Right? Let me break this down for you. We caught IWM twice, and we caught NVIDIA. Okay? So let me break this down. First trade on IWM, it was like 12%, right? Okay, the second trade we hit, it was like 32%. And then on NVIDIA was another 12%, right? So 12 plus 12 is 24, and then 32%, right? What is that? That's 56%. So I got 56% return on my money in the first 20 minutes of the market, right? So let's just say that I put up $5,000 between those 3 trades, right? What's 50% of 5K? That's $2,500 in 30 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So yes, we live trade, right? You could take the trades so that way, while you're learning how to trade, you're doing it in a profitable manner. Y'all see what I'm saying? This is how we get down. We do this every single day in the Prosperity Collective, man. And we also have a whole full-blown course inside of the Discord, and we have weekly study sessions as well, right? And these weekly study sessions is with me or Marcel, and we're breaking down a topic and we're going deep, and those are recorded as well, so you could go back to those whenever you need to also. All right, so to answer your question, Raisha, yes, I highly recommend everybody who is not to join, because it's also a community, and we got a lot of stuff in the works in the future. All right, God bless you too, Dizzy. Shout out to you. All right, what is an ideal theta on IV on swings and IV on swings? I think like for IV, I would say like under 100%. Theta, I don't really pay attention to the theta like that, because like the way that I trade, I don't focus too much on the theta. When it comes to IV, the main thing that I focus on is I'm not playing earnings, so I don't really worry about the IV, right? And if I'm doing like a 6 month out kind of swing, I'm gonna just get some at the money, and I don't have to worry about those things, right? And if I'm swinging something overnight or whatever, I'm basing it on my price action strategy, and I'm not basing it on like the IV or the theta, right? But also, I'm also looking at order flow. There's a tool that I use to pay attention to order flow as well. Okay, so I don't really trade like the traditional person that focuses on IV and this and that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But over time, the way I've learned how to trade, I feel like it's a lot more effective for me to focus on different things rather than just IV. But I do be looking at open interest sometimes. And that open interest, the open interest will definitely, how do I say it? It'll give you a hint of, you know, the interest that people have in that strike price and that stock. Y'all get what I'm saying? So James said, I made back the money I paid in my first trade. I highly recommend Discord. You hear that? The first trade, okay? The first trade. Shout out to James, man. Shout out to all of y'all, all right? Shout out to James. First trade, he made his money back, all right? If you would have joined this morning, you would have made your money back this morning, right? Every single day, we smacking IWM and another stock as well, all right? I'm telling y'all. All you got to do is trust the process and be willing to do the work and put in the work. Everything else is going to fall in place. All right? Trust the Most High, trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust in your future and where you're going, and trust that you're at the right place at the right time. All right? We got people making 2-3K a day, right? 3-4K a week. We got people quitting their job, right? I'm telling you, this is life-changing once you understand how to really play the game. All right, this ain't no fluff. This ain't no fabrication. This is what you see is what you gonna get. All right, this is how we get down over here. All right, The theta spanked me because of price. Yeah, the biggest thing about the theta is when you get into a trade and it's far out the money and it don't make no move for a while and you're getting closer to that expiration date, it's gonna spank you, right? But also that's why I don't really have a stop loss. So when I put money into a trade, I'm willing to lose the whole thing, right? And I know that may be scary to people, but it used to be scary to me, but it's no longer scary because I understand what I'm doing and I understand how to play the game, right? And I know that my wins are always going to be bigger than my losses. So that's why I risk what I'm willing to lose. And that way I could give the trade time to mature, right? Sometimes we don't give a trade time to mature. And also we're afraid of losing money. I did a video about not being afraid to lose. I did a whole breakdown last week. Make sure you go watch that video. All right. I'm telling you guys, the videos on my YouTube should be inside of a PhD for learning how to trade. That's really what I believe, right? Because we go deep on stuff and I talk about stuff that nobody talks about, right? So be sure to watch all those videos because they're going to help you figure this stuff out on a deeper level. All right. So I appreciate y'all, man. Seriously. All right. Like I always say, make sure you get up out your head, go get into this world because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, right? On Wisdom Wednesday, we got Wisdom Wednesday. So make sure y'all tap into that. On tomorrow's live as well, we're going to find some more setups for Thursday. All right. Don't do nothing crazy. Don't do nothing stupid tomorrow. Be patient and let's make sure we get this money. All right. All y'all, man, y'all stay smooth and I'm going to holler at you tomorrow. Peace.